Why do we struggle so much to learn Chinese? Why is it that the dropout rate in a lot of Western countries for Chinese classes can be as high as 95%? Well, the traditional learning methods that we're all sort of subjected to at school and university actually go completely against what we consider to be the #1 law of language learning, which has been proven over and over again by the most heavily cited linguistic research, polyglots all around the world, and of course, our own 20 years experience learning and teaching Chinese. The fastest and easiest way to learn Chinese, or any language really, is to pretty much repeat exactly what you did when you learned your first language. Read and listen to content that you can understand. Sounds simple, right? But most of us don't do this. Most of us either focus on speaking way too much, way too early, or we try and read and listen to things that we barely understand, which can be really frustrating. And not only that, if we do end up going down this traditional route, the tools and methods available to us are soul destroying. Textbooks, high-stress learning environments like classrooms and examinations, endless notes, repetitive drills. This will get you to fluency, possibly, but only if you're willing to tolerate a very long and very painful journey. Trust me, we're speaking from experience here. We tried it the hard way, but instead of giving up, we put our heads together and we created the Mandarin Blueprint method, a radically different, unified learning system that will teach you step by step how to read, listen, speak, and even write Chinese in the most effortless way possible, by constantly feeding your brain Chinese content that it can understand and engage with. Here's how it works. There are 6 phases to this curriculum, all of which focus on a different part of the language, and all of which are also perfectly tailored to your particular level as you progress throughout the course. So the first phase is called pre-phase. This is where we teach you all about Mandarin pronunciation. So you'll learn how to read, pronounce, and identify every sound in Mandarin Chinese in about 6 hours or so. It's perfect for beginners as a starting point for the language, and it's also really good for those of you who are above beginner level as a refresher course. Next is phase 1, characters. You'll use our system of mnemonic visualization, which we call the hands-up movie method, to learn any Chinese character, that's reading, writing, and pronunciation, in under a minute, using techniques inspired by world memory champions. This is really fun, and it's a real game changer in the world of Mandarin education. Not only will you learn characters super fast, you'll also learn them in the most efficient and logical order possible. OCLO, or Optimal Character Learning Order, is our patent-pending sequence based on the analysis of billions of Chinese characters and their overall frequency in the language. It's outrageously efficient. After learning just a handful of Chinese characters, you'll move straight on to phase 2, where you'll start to unlock common Chinese words that are purely made up of characters you already know. You'll then employ several powerful memory techniques to make these new words impossible to forget. In phase 3, this is where your friends and family's jaws start dropping. You'll be able to start reading both silently and aloud full phrases and sentences in Chinese without any help from English translations or pinyin, the alphabet of Chinese. After another few levels, you'll reach phase 4, and this is where things really start to get fun, because you'll be able to read entire paragraphs filled with dialogues, opinions, and short stories. You'll also be able to follow along our high-quality native audio, both male and female, even mimicking it just as UN interpreters do. Finally, in phase 5, you will finish building your foundation. You'll be able to read full-length stories from both China and the West, and once again, you'll understand everything because they're all made up of words and characters that you've already mastered. This course has helped some of our clients go from absolute beginner to being able to read, understand, speak, and even write the most common 1,000 Mandarin words in as little as 2 months, from zero. Let me just reiterate that for you one more time. So in 2 months from now, you could go from knowing no Chinese to mastering around 80% of what you would see and hear on a day-to-day basis in China. The price of this course will only go up as we're constantly expanding and improving the content, so take advantage and get it for this price while you can. There's a 30-day guarantee on any purchase, so don't worry, there's no risk for you whatsoever. In just a few weeks from now, you could be still right where you are, unsure, unsatisfied, confused, struggling, or you could be literate and on your way to fluency in Mandarin Chinese. Click below to get started, and we'll see you on the course.